Well, it was heart-wrenching. It was blood pressure increasing. It was unnecessarily close again. But you know what? At this point, I don't care as long as you get wins in any way, shape, or form they come, because now you're at the point to where wins are precious and you need to stack up on them as much as you can. And while I certainly don't think this is a dominant win, I do think it's a win that I'm pleased about in as many weeks. What is going on, everybody? I am Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. You know, guys, I'm only 28 years old. I may not even make it to 30 at this point, because this damn team is going to kill me one day. While I do make jokes about it, I'm also sick and tired of saying it, because like I said at the beginning, this game should not have been close. And there's reasons for that. So I'm going to start with the things that I'm going to criticize in this game. Now, I'm not going to come on here and bash the offense, because it was pretty much kind of like how the offense was last week against Tennessee. And by the way, thank you all for tuning into my stream. It was a very entertaining stream, to say the least. I had a blast doing it. The raids I got in there from Urinating Tree and Tom Grossi, two big YouTube communities coming in there and rating my stream. That was just incredible, man. So shout out to the two of them. I've been watching Urinating Tree for about 7 years now. I've been watching Tom Grossi for about a year and a half now. So that was just incredible. But getting on into this game. Now, like I said, I'm not going to kill the offense in this game, because to start off with, the offense was clicking. I mean, it was similar to last week against Tennessee, where we had the opening drive touchdown against the Titans to start off the game. And it happened again this week. Steelers go 9 plays, 75 yards, 5 minutes. And once again, the play calling was really good. Matt Canada was mixing up the play calling. We were running the ball like we should have been doing for a good fraction of the game. And it punctuated with Najee Harris punching it in for a score to make it 7-0. Then the second drive, 11 plays, 60 yards with a kickoff out of bounds. Jaylen Warren, incredible rushing touchdown on a 17-yard scramble to make it 14-7. Green Bay marched down the field and tied the game up, which I'll be getting into the defense in a little bit, believe me on that. But, like, the thing that I have to sit down here and say about the offense, I think I'm kind of starting to get a revelation of it. While I am the last person on earth who would sit down here and defend Matt Canada and would cut him some slack and say that he's not as bad as what people think, okay? I would not do that, but how can you blame Matt Canada fully for today's game? Because, like I said, there were moments in this game to where it's looking like it's another Matt Canada special. We're going to win in spite of the offense, and the defense is going to have to come through again. Green Bay cannot stop the run all game today. Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris get their flowers once again for today. Matt Canada does for the most part, but why are you passing the ball up by 1 in the fourth quarter when Green Bay cannot stop the clock? Or no, they can't stop your run. Okay? It'd be one thing if you're up by 10 or if you're looking to close the game out, but you cannot get conservative like that. That's why I was sitting, I mean, you guys all saw it. I was sitting down here with the stream looking nervous, looking upset, looking scared, because I'm like, oh, here we go again with Matt Canada. He's going to get conservative. He's going to mess up the play calling, and it's going to have to come down to defense once again. You cannot get conservative like that. You have to keep going with what got you in that position in the first place. They couldn't stop Jaylen Warren all day today. They couldn't stop Najee Harris all day today. We ran the end arounds real well. Calvin Austin, for the times that he was getting involved, he was a factor. But a pitch play on 2nd and 9, being forced to pretty much run it on that 3rd and 19 on a terrible penalty, a very ticky-tack penalty on a Levi Wallace, where it was the equivalent of a cop giving someone a ticket for going 36 and a 35. So it's like I'm not fully blaming Matt Canada today, but those are legit criticisms for why this game was closer than it was, because we left, I would say, about 14 points off the board because we got conservative with a 1-point lead, and you have to keep pounding the ball down their throat. They could not stop the run at all today. Like I said, you have to keep going with what got you there. And yes, I am saying the play calling has looked better in the past 2 weeks. The O-line even has looked better in the past couple of weeks. Not really a whole lot of moments where it's like, oh, Kenny's going to get flushed. Oh, Kenny has like no time to throw it. The O-line was giving Kenny Pickett some clean pockets over these past couple of weeks. Not great protection, but pretty good protection and some clean pockets. Which is why I'm sitting down here and saying the offense was good once again in spite of Kenny Pickett. I don't care what any of you guys have to say. I'm just saying it. Unfortunately, the offense was held back, not this time by Matt Canada. For some of it was him. But for the most part, it was the quarterback once again. I'm not sitting down here and saying that inconsistency is what I'm looking for in a starting quarterback. Ever since that Vegas game, I thought that was Kenny Pickett's turning point for his career. He's finally going to get it together. Maybe it just took him a little bit to fully get it started. But ever since that Vegas game, I have been seeing him take steps backwards. And I can't even say it was fourth quarter Kenny today. He wasn't Kenny clutch today. If anything, Kenny almost lost us the game today. More first read plays from Kenny Pickett. He should have had another interception in this game because he was once again on a bootleg play, staring down his first guy and tried to force a pass. And the Packers actually intercepted it until the foot dragged out of bounds at the last moment. Thank God that was the case. But I sit down here and say, you cannot make a throw like that. You just can't do that. How many damn times is Kenny Pickett going to try to make a pass like that? How many times is he going to overshoot his receivers? How many times is he going to try to make a play where he's running away from a pass rush and he's not either going to throw the ball out of bounds or try to pick something up with his legs? Like I said, we won this. The offense was good today in spite of Kenny Pickett. He did not play good again. Yes, the Steeler offense got outgained by Green Bay. 9 games into the season, and we have not outgained a single opponent. Okay? So the offense, I'm saying today, was 50-50. It wasn't spectacular because we left points off the board. We could have easily cracked 30 today if Kenny Pickett was smarter with the football and if we didn't get too conservative in the fourth quarter. But there are some also really good plays that the offense did today. Yes, Kenny had a very smart decision to run with the ball, pick up the first down with his legs, gave himself up, which gave us a conversion. But that doesn't take away the fact that Kenny Pickett did not play good again. And someone brought this up in the chat. I don't remember who it was, but someone brought this up in the chat. And at this point, I don't disagree. If Kenny Pickett flunks for the rest of the year and in 2024, I would be on board with the Steelers drafting a quarterback in 2025. Because at that point, Kenny Pickett will be in his 4th season. And if he hasn't made progress, it'd be a prove-it year for him, where it's like, buddy, you want a 5th year? You want to be the quarterback of this franchise going forward? It's a prove-it year for you, bro. If you don't have a good 4th year, we're not giving you a 5th year option. So I would be on board with us drafting a quarterback in 2025 if Kenny Pickett continues to flunk this season and if he flunks all in next season as well. There is literally no improvement. O-line was giving him good pockets. Running game was phenomenal today, like I said at the beginning. Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris get the game balls with offense today. I am not complaining about the run game whatsoever today. I love to see it. I'm hard on Najee Harris. I'm tough on him. He's probably the guy that I'm the most hard on with the offense. But these past 2 weeks, Najee Harris has been phenomenal. Keep it up. I love to see it. I am especially hard now on Kenny Pickett because he's the quarterback. And he has not looked good this season. And yes, at this point, he gets an F for me this season. Couple of good plays, couple of lengthy touchdown passes is not going to save it for me. Kenny Pickett has not played good today. Steeler fans, it's time to tuck your tail in between your legs and just face facts. Kenny Pickett has not looked good. So yes, it's not the entire offense's fault. It's not entirely on Matt Canada today because, hey, keep this guy on the freaking sideline today. Keep this guy on the sideline for the rest of the season. I will support whatever it takes for this offense to get better. If it's Matt Canada being on the sideline, if it's Kenny Pickett needing to improve, whatever. I'll take anything for this offense to improve. But Kenny Pickett had 10 days to up his performance from last week against Tennessee, and he didn't improve. He just didn't. He wasn't even Kenny Clutch today. He almost lost us the game. Okay? Again, I don't care what anybody says. Offense was good in spite of Kenny Pickett. Okay? He had a good run game today. The receivers did what they could to catch his passes because he was missing guys. Again, he was not surveying the field. Again, he was staring down receivers. Again. He had no touchdown passes today. Do you guys realize, and I'm not knocking at C.J. Stroud at all. C.J. Stroud is having a phenomenal rookie year. I hope he gets Offensive Rookie of the Year. But do you realize that C.J. Stroud, in half a season, has more passing touchdowns than Kenny Pickett's entire career? Okay? That's just facts. It's not me hating on him. It's not me having an agenda with Kenny Pickett. These are facts. And the fact of the matter is, Kenny Pickett has just not played well this year. Defense. Outside of one guy, and I think yinz all know who it is, I thought the defense played well enough to win today. There were a couple of moments where the defense was folding, but we were able to limit Aaron Jones as much as we could. We pressured Jordan Love. TJ Watt got his 10th and a half sack on the season today, 88th of his career in his 96th game, passing his brother JJ. Alex Highsmith brought the heat. Mark Robinson was a factor. Quan Alexander, I don't know how his leg is doing, but we'll take it by ear. Patrick Peterson for once. A remarkable play where he got his hand up in the back corner of the end zone, deflected the pass. Keanu Neal was there to make the pick. Keanu Neal's currently being looked at for a concussion because he got whacked after that play. We'll see how he is. But Patrick Peterson for once made a great play. Too bad his counterpart, and JPJ too. Outside of that penalty that, like I said last week, he needs to clean up on the penalties. One thing about JPJ is that it looks like he found his tackling form, pops A.J. Dillon on a check down for a 5-yard loss. That's what I love to see from JPJ. Just amazing. JPJ is my dude. It's like, yeah, he needs to clean up on the penalties and the tackling. But today could have been like that first step. It's like, oh, okay, I had some stupid penalties against Tennessee. I need to work on my tackling. Let me show you what I can do, Steeler fans. And what does he do? Pops A.J. Dillon. He had that one bad penalty, but other than that, JPJ has looked really good. Too bad the same can't be said about the other guy on the secondary, because Levi Wallace is absolute garbage. I've always said that Ike Taylor is probably my least favorite Steeler secondary player I've ever seen because I always thought he was very overrated. And he's right up there, in my opinion, with Ross Cockrell and Artie Burns. But here's the thing. At least Ike Taylor could come up with a good play every now and then. I just always thought he was very overrated and gave up a lot of big plays. I always thought he was very overrated by the fans and by the Steeler media. Ross Cockrell is like, okay, we didn't expect anything from him because he was just a bench player. And Artie Burns, at least he had his rookie season to fall back on, and then he just tanked after that. There is nothing good about Levi Wallace. He has climbed that ladder for being my least favorite Steeler secondary player that I've ever seen. This dude is garbage. He cannot cover worth a shit. Seriously, if you gave this guy a queen-size bed with king-size sheets, I guarantee you he wouldn't be able to cover it. He's useless. As useless as cutting an Angus beef steak with a plastic knife. As useless as a screen door on a submarine. Green Bay only had 2 touchdowns today. So, like I said, the defense played well enough to win. And yeah, they did fold down the final phases, but it should never have even been 2 touchdowns today because Levi Wallace allowed both touchdowns today, and he allowed 2 more big chunk pass plays by Jordan Love. Levi Wallace, get out of here. You are garbage. You are trash. You are the worst corner I've ever seen in my life. Bar none. Always allows big plays. Always is at least a half yard behind who he's supposed to be covering. Cannot cover anybody. Does he get interceptions here and there? Yeah. But is he consistent with them? Hell no. I'm done with him. Get out of here. Don't even go to Cleveland next week. Just sit your ass in Pittsburgh at a Permanis somewhere and fill out a job application for them while you're at it. You're trash, bro. For real. But despite all that, defense comes up with the game-sealing interception at the end. And that wins us the game with 3 seconds on the last play of the game. So like I said, defense I thought did well enough. But just like how the offense was good, no thanks to Kenny Pickett, the defense was good, no thanks to Levi Wallace. And also something I want to say about the defense. Tomlin, when are you going to stop putting linebackers on receivers? Because there is no reason Landon Roberts should have been covering Green Bay's 3rd-string receiver in the 4th quarter like that. Landon Roberts is a run stopper. Right up there with Keanu Benton, who also had a great play today. He's definitely a factor. Right up there with Quan Alexander. Again, I don't know the status of him. We'll play it by year. And when Cole Holcomb is here, that's what you use Landon Roberts for. You don't put him in on 3rd-string receivers. But overall, I thought the defense did well enough to win. Just no thanks to our trash corner in Levi Wallace. But it's 23-19. We win it over the Green Bay Packers. We're 6-3 somehow. This team is 6-3 somehow. Cleveland and Cincinnati lost today. Cleveland came back and beat Baltimore. So it sets up a pivotal matchup next week between the Browns and the Steelers. We still have the tiebreaker over Cleveland because we beat them in week 2. Next week is must win for us. We need to win, and we need the Bengals to win as well. Bengals and Ravens play on Thursday night. But like I said, I'm tired of these close 1-score wins by us, but you can tell the offense is actually kind of getting better. And it's not so much on Matt Canada, because like I said, I will never defend him, but today is not all his fault. It's just a couple of criticisms that I had for him down the final phases where you can't get too conservative with a 1-point lead. And it's just Kenny Pickett once again. Kenny Pickett at this point is going to have to do a complete 180 for me to have any sort of faith in him. And now I've lost it completely with him after today. You got a lot of work to do, brother. Plain and simple. Levi Wallace, I'm done with that trash can. I really am. But regardless, we get the win. We're 6-3. We're still second in the division. We're only a half game back of Baltimore now. And let's get ready for the Cleveland Browns, man. I will have my Victory Monday up tomorrow morning. And once again, thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see how this rest of the season goes. I just hope that, one way or another, we can continue to get wins when it's the most pivotal moment of the season. But we'll see, man. Defense needs to come up big next week. Can't allow the Browns to have a comeback like they did against Baltimore today. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is Mac checking on out for the night. Have a good one, everybody.